Imagine a machine that never stops. No breaks, no holidays, no downtime. Just constant rhythmic power from the moment you take your first breath. Welcome to the engine of life. Today, we aren't just looking at biology. We are exploring a masterpiece of engineering, the human heart. Get ready to discover the tireless motor that drives your every moment. Let's talk power. 108,000. That's not a mileage on a car. That's how many times your heart beats every single day. That's nearly 40 million beats a year. It pumps 14,000 liters of blood daily, enough to fill a small swimming pool, pushing it through a staggering 60,000 miles of blood vessels. To put that in perspective, that's enough plumbing to wrap around the Earth more than twice. It's more than just a muscle. It is a tireless, sophisticated machine far beyond anything we could build with steel or plastic. So, where is this powerhouse located? Look at your own hand and make a fist. That's about the size of it. It sits safely tucked away in the mediastinum, a protective central vault between your lungs. Notice how it isn't perfectly straight. The apex, that pointy bottom tip, tilts just slightly to the left, resting comfortably in its custom-designed space. If you were building a fortress, you'd need the right materials. The heart wall has 3 distinct layers. First, the epicardium, the tough, protective outer shield. Inside, the endocardium provides an ultra-smooth lining, ensuring blood glides through without friction. But the real magic happens in the middle, the myocardium. This thick, twisting, powerful muscle layer is what does all the heavy lifting, contracting with every single beat. Here is the genius of its design. It's not one pump, but a simultaneous dual pump system. On the left side of our screen, the pulmonary circuit. Blue, oxygen-poor blood arrives from the body, goes into the right atrium, down to the right ventricle, and gets sent next door to the lungs to pick up fresh oxygen. On the right side, the systemic circuit. That freshly oxygenated, bright red blood returns to the left atrium, drops into the left ventricle, and is forcefully blasted out through the aorta to nourish your entire body. 2 distinct circuits operating in perfect harmony. Balance is everything. But equality doesn't mean looking exactly the same. Both the right ventricle and the left ventricle pump the exact same volume of blood. But look closely at the walls. The right ventricle only has to pump blood to the lungs, a short trip with low resistance. But the left ventricle, it has to push blood all the way from your head to your toes. That's why the left ventricle's wall is so much thicker and more muscular. It needs immense pressure to conquer that 60,000-mile journey. With all this pressure, how do we prevent chaos? The answer is a brilliant set of biological doors. We have 4 distinct valves ensuring strictly one-way traffic. We have 2 atrioventricular, AV valves, the tricuspid on the right and the mitral on the left, acting like heavy double doors between the upper and lower chambers. And we have 2 semilunar valves, the pulmonary and the aortic, acting as the exit gates. The rule here is absolute: no U-turns. These valves physically snap shut to block any backward flow, ensuring progress is only ever moving forward. But consider the massive pressure of that ventricle squeezing. What stops those doors from just blowing completely backward on their hinges? The design is incredible. Look at the analogy of a parachute. The valve flaps are tethered by strong strings called chordae tendineae, which are anchored down by papillary muscles. When the ventricle squeezes, these muscles hold the strings tight, keeping the doors securely shut. Without these biological anchors, the immense pressure would blow the doors wide open in the wrong direction. Here is perhaps the most astounding fact about your heart. It doesn't need your brain to tell it to beat. This is autorhythmicity. Your heart has its own built-in battery, its own internal spark plug called the SA node. Unlike the muscles in your arm or leg that wait for a command from your nerves, the heart generates its own electrical impulse. It is fiercely independent, running on specialized cells that are a fascinating hybrid of muscle and neuron. Finally, let's trace that internal spark. It's an electrical ballet. Step 1, the spark originates at the SA node, causing the top chambers, the atria, to squeeze. Step 2, the signal hits a tiny speed bump, the AV node. This crucial 0.1 second delay lets the atria finish emptying blood into the lower chambers. Step 3, the signal shoots rapidly down the center wall via the bundle of His. Step 4, the signal wraps around the very bottom, the apex, through the Purkinje fibers, causing a powerful bottom-up squeeze, exactly like squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the bottom. It's a perfectly timed, exquisitely choreographed wave of electricity that keeps you alive, beat after beautiful beat. That electrical wave we just saw, it creates something you've heard your entire life, the heartbeat. But you aren't actually hearing the muscle squeeze. You are hearing the doors slam shut. The cycle has 2 phases. First is systole, the powerful squeeze. As pressure spikes in the ventricles, the heavy AV valves slam shut, giving us that first deep sound, lub, or S1. Then comes diastole, the relaxation phase, where the heart refills. As the pressure drops, the exit doors, the semilunar valves, snap shut to prevent blood from falling backward, creating the sharper dub, or S2. Lub-dub, lub-dub. It is the rhythmic acoustic signature of your survival. So, how much work is this pump actually doing? We measure this with a simple but vital equation: cardiac output. It's your heart rate, how fast it beats, multiplied by your stroke volume, how much blood is pushed out with each beat. Right now, as you sit here resting, your heart is pumping about 5.25 liters of blood every single minute. But what happens when you run? The true marvel of this engine is its adaptability. In an elite athlete pushing their limits, that cardiac output can skyrocket to 7 or 8 times their resting rate. It instantly scales to meet the exact demands of your body. How does the heart know to pump harder when you need it most? The answer lies in Frank Starling's law, a brilliant mechanical principle built right into the muscle fibers. Think of a rubber band. If you pull it just a little bit, it snaps back gently. But if you stretch it way back, it snaps with tremendous force. Your heart works the exact same way. When you exercise, more blood floods back into the heart, physically stretching the muscle fibers further. Because of that extra stretch, the heart contracts with a massive, powerful snap, perfectly matching its output to what your body is demanding in that very second. We've looked at the anatomy, the plumbing, the electricity, and the acoustics, but the true miracle is how it all comes together. Look at this timeline. A tiny electrical spark, the P wave and QRS complex, triggers a massive mechanical squeeze, systole, which slams the valves shut, creating the lub sound. Then, electrical recovery, the T wave, allows the muscle to relax, diastole, snapping the exit valves shut for the dub. Electrical, mechanical, and acoustic elements operating in perfect, seamless synchronization. It is a masterpiece of biological engineering, a relentless, brilliant engine. It is truly the symphony of life.